I'm a well-educated, respectful, well-brought-up person, and what I think is that entitles me to say that I can make a well-informed decision. I'm well-read, So, when I see what's happening in the world and the way that the media portrays it, it's wrong, blatantly wrong. If you look at what they're doing in Libya, and they call, for example, Colonel Gaddafi, a dictator, and blah blah blah. And again, I'll say it again, I was brought up in this country, not radicalized in any way, but I can make an informed decision. I can see that these so-called democracies of America and most European countries are they're trying to implement their own systems on other countries. So, for example, if Gaddafi was pro-Western and gave his money to the bankers and to the elite, few people who seek to gain all of the wealth and power of the world, he would be alright. But because he doesn't, because as a matter of facts, he gives money to the people. Oil money goes directly to the bank accounts of Libyans. He built schools, hospitals, you name it. Universities, people have free education now up to university level, free health care. If they can't get an operation in the country, it's paid for them to go elsewhere and get it. This is what he did with the oil money when he took it back in a bloodless coup, when he took over the country. And they call it a dictatorship because they want to paint him in a certain way. And Libya is just one small example that is a current news. Countless examples of the same thing. They're just implementing their own systems. Don't be blinded by what the media shows you. It's always what they want. The BBC did a documentary called about Al-Qaeda and how Al-Qaeda was fake. The documentary slipped my mind now, but The Power of Nightmares, that's what it was called, The Power of Nightmares. And in a 3-part documentary they showed how Al-Qaeda was made up. And this is the BBC, and showed how CIA, top CIA people were confirming that it's made up. It's the same as out of Big Brother, where they portray a villain. I think it was Oceana in the Big Brother book by George Orwell, 1984. It's the same thing. It's exactly that scenario. Machiavellian, very, snide, very, very, very clever. Cunning is the word, in the way that they do it. And the dictatorships in democracies are just usually the heads of families, powerful families, and it's not some Hollywood story, some conspiracy or whatever. These are facts. It's just natural facts. It's just a particular family happens to be the ones who started a particular business. For example, whether it be oil businesses, whether it be money, banking businesses, whether it be industrial, aeronautics, whatever it may be, or Rolls-Royce type, whoever, Mercedes. They just happen to be the family that are at the head of that. So these families then become rich, they're powerful and influential. These are facts. It's not some crazy shit that I'm talking here. This is normal facts. And obviously over periods of time these powerful families have connections, not through some sinister, no, just through people running the same circles. So obviously it's not like they're going to have always have to have clandestine meetings. They meet all the time. It's not, the agenda isn't some crazy thing that was with protocols of the elders of Zion or blah blah blah. It's just the way that things work. And they are manipulating the world. They are manipulating people through television, through media, through whatever it may be, in order to do what they want to do. They are masters. This is why they have the power of advertising. Advertising is exactly what they're doing. They're just selling you their product. whether it be the war on terror or whatever. They're selling it to you through advertising, which is through news, media, whatever it may be. They're selling it to you in all shapes and sizes. They manipulate everything through these media. Computer games. Like all computer games now, everyone wants to be the baddie. Back in, when things first started with computer, when they started to bring it in, they brought it in a very subtle way. So they games where you push rocks around to fill in holes, or you race around a track, and then slowly they started to bring in games where you're the slasher, you're the killer, you're the pimp, you're the murderer, you can choose to be God or the devil. You can all of these kind of scenarios where they're making it cool to be the bad guy. So this is the kind of generations that they're trying to raise. They want a separation. This is why they brought these kids up, who then at 15, 16 years old are forget rioting, just stealing, just looting, not because they're bad kids, but because they've been brought up to not give a shit, to literally want to be the bad guy because it's cool. They will grow out of it at some point because this is nature, this is their way. They'll understand that it's not right. It's within them to know that it's not right. But at a young age, when they're impressionable, this is what has been happening. And if they can get that separation where they can say, well, if parents can't take care of kids, the state will take care of it. This is what they always want. There's always a way that they bring things in. I've heard people say things like problem, reaction, solution, or Machiavellian techniques where you bring something in, or you use an agent provocateur to stir up a situation. Whatever it may be, people are being made to do things, and then once it's been done, now everyone's crying out, "Why? Let's bring the army in." This is a civil situation. Why are people calling for the army? If the government were to turn around and tell you, right, in some disputes we're going to bring the army in, people say, hold on a minute. So they can't do that. So what do? They manipulate a situation where the people ask, "Oh, bring your in," and then they can do what they want. So I just want to try and make it clear that don't look at situations as the way the media says it. Put it this way: sometimes the best thing to do is whatever they say, think the opposite. And you're probably closer to the truth on those occasions. If they say, for example, Gaddafi's bad, assume that he's good. If they say Bush is good, assume that he's bad. If they say Obama's the new hope, and a lot of black people cling to that. Oh, he's one of ours. He's not. But trust me, he's not. You can tell from someone's actions who they are and what they do. Anyway, to be concluded.